Hello, budgeting friends. Welcome back. My name is Chris, and this is Budgeting with Chris, where we work on all things budget like cash planning, cash stuffing, savings challenges, budget with me's, all to help us figure out our financial life. So, if that is something you're interested in, please stick around. Hello, my budgeting friends. I'm so glad you are back for another video. Today, we are going to do a mid-month check-in. So here we have our monthly spread for the month of September for our bills and our budget. So yesterday was payday for me, and that means so many bills are getting paid or have been paid. So SimpliSafe was paid on the 4th. I should mention, guys, that I use my credit card for bills. So my bills come out of my credit card, and then I retroactively pay my credit card after I get my paycheck. It's what works for me. It might not work for everyone, but that's what works for me. I also am continuing to earn reward points by using my credit card as well. So it's been working for me for the past 2-3 years now. So that's what I do. So SimpliSafe came out on the 4th, and car insurance and Peacock on the 9th. And on payday yesterday, I took half of it and sent it to the rent and a quarter to my car. Verizon was also paid. We took some money today for our credit card to pay the minimum balance on that. And then for Dominion, I like to pay this each month and not put it on auto pay because the amount changes each month, and I like to see how much is being charged for that month. And then I also use whatever's left from my budget and I put it into a savings account. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. Fios is on auto pay, so that one, the amount to pay this is still in my checking account, and it'll just be auto paid on the 13th, on Friday. One more thing, Microsoft is all the way down here, but it is before the next payday, so it does get paid using this paycheck here. So this one is also coming out of yesterday's paycheck. So let's go ahead and move over to our monthly page here. Our monthly breakdown, I should say. Okay, so for this paycheck, I did receive the little extra from my pay increase this month, or this paycheck, I should say. So paycheck is $18.60, which is about $52 more than what we used to get, which is nice. So that's what we're starting with. Let me pull out my handy dandy calculator, and we're going to start with $18.60. And I don't put the total amount that I pay for rent just yet because I haven't paid it completely. I shouldn't have done it for car pay either, but I know that it's going to be $300, so I just put $300 there. But we have only taken out $50 for this one right now. So I'm going to leave rent empty, but I have taken out $559 for that one. And then car insurance was $116.98, so we'll remove that one as well. We paid $50 for car payment right now, or I have set aside $50. Remember, my car payment and my rent are for next month. So I'm saving for October right now. I have already paid September with what I saved in August. SimpliSafe, I budgeted $25, but it came out to $21.99. So we'll take $21.99 off of there. Petco was $19 and budgeted $19, and $19 came out. For Dominion, here's where, as I mentioned, I like to double check how much is charged because I budget $150. That is the average. If I take my 12 months of electricity bills, add them all together, and divide them by the 12 months, my average is $150. I budget $150 every month. Some months, like this month, I don't reach $150. This month it was $125.34. So we're going to take $125.34. Oh, goodness. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I took 125.34 off of the paycheck, and then the remaining balance, which is 24.66 to get to 150, I'm also going to subtract from the paycheck because I transfer that to my savings account, my high yield savings account, so that it can earn interest, because in winter my paychecks in winter my electricity bills come out to be more than 150. Sometimes they're like 200, sometimes they're 215, 220. So it just depends. But then again, in the summer, sometimes my bills for electricity are as low as $50. So what I do is I take whatever is remaining from 150 to get to 125. From 125 to get to 150, I take that difference and I put it into a savings account. That way, in the winter, I have extra money to pull from when I go over budget with my electricity bill. I hope that made sense. I got a little tongue tied there. All right, for Verizon Fios, we budgeted 45. It was $44.99, so we'll take $44.99 off a paycheck. For Verizon Wireless, it was 50 budgeted and 50 came out. And Peacock actually went up. They did not send like an email. They didn't let anybody know. They just increased the price for the month. When I checked to see that it had actually been paid, I saw that it was an increase. So I had originally decided that I was going to switch this to a yearly subscription, because with the price increase, the yearly subscription is left at $6 every month as opposed to $8. So when I went to try and do that, it didn't have an option for me to switch to yearly. So I was going to cancel the plan and then um, resubscribe to Peacock with the yearly plan. But before I could cancel, it asked me if I wanted to take advantage of a promotion they were having where I could get the next 6 months for $199. So I decided to take that. So for the next 6 months, starting in October, so from October, November, December, January, February, March, up until the end of March, I will be paying $199. So I will need to re-up my plan in April of next year, and that's when I'm going to pay for the yearly subscription for Peacock. So to save up money to pay for the yearly subscription, I'm going to keep this at the number that it is. We're going to keep Peacock at $5.99 each month. I'm just going to take the extra $4 and put them into my subscription envelope so that that builds up. And by the time I need to purchase the yearly subscription, I'll have the money ready. So that's the story behind there. So we're going to take away that $7.99. And then Microsoft, it hasn't been paid yet because it's not due until the 23rd, but I am going to take it out of this paycheck. And then the last thing is our extra debt. So this is my extra debt. $50 gets paid as a minimum balance on the credit card. More than that gets paid throughout the month because I do pay these back to my credit card as well, but I do like to add that extra $50 just to chip away at what we owe there. So we're left with $780.06. And what I like to do is not work with the cents. So we remove the 06. So we do 780. That's what I have to cash stuff for the first 2 weeks of September, or for the 2 weeks that this paycheck goes for. And so I'm going to do this in half so that I know how much I have to budget for the first week for this paycheck. So this coming Saturday, we are going to cash stuff $390. Now, I might end up adding a little more because, as I've mentioned before, this is not my full paycheck. I always like to take about 10% of my paycheck and put it aside because I do only get paid bi-monthly. I don't get paid every 2 weeks. I get paid twice a month on the same dates every month. So to be able to cash stuff every week, I do need to do a little bit of math there and set aside some money so that I have enough for the month that bring extra weeks where I don't receive a paycheck for those weeks. So this is not my full paycheck. So we might add a little bit more from the extra money that I have saved up. We'll see. I'm gonna look at the sinking funds and see how much we need and if we need to add more or if this is enough. But this is roughly how I get my beginning balance for what I'm going to cash stuff. So this Saturday that's coming up, we will most likely cash stuff $390 or around $390. All right, so that is our mid-month check-in. We have paid off the bills that were due for this paycheck. We're going to wait for the next paycheck on the 25th, which is also my birthday. That's going to be fun. And we'll check in at the end of the month to see how we did with our paychecks for that. All right, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for being here and checking in with me for our monthly budget. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great one, guys. Bye.